What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. We're going to talk about this embarrassing mess that happened at the NBA draft. Now, I didn't watch most of the NBA draft, and I'm glad I didn't, because they had this heifer, Malika Andrews, hosting the show. And they had this other heifer on there. We're going to get to her a little bit later. She made a fool of herself as well. And Malika Andrews had a very bad night tonight. Not only because of her trying to be the one to bring up an NBA draftee's past that, you know, he has no connection to, that he wasn't criminally charged with anything, right? But Malika Andrews is bringing it up. Then she made this mistake with Jet Howard, the son of Juwan Howard. We're going to get into that. But we're going to talk about this embarrassing mess. We're going to get into this. This is the clip I'm talking about as far as this heifer here. There's just a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack. This clip right here has gone viral. There was a YouTuber, Flight Mike, I believe that's his name. He clipped this and it went viral. And this is Malika Andrews speaking about Brandon Miller. Now, I made a video about her speaking on Brandon Miller, bringing up the situation that happened in Alabama when, unfortunately, there was a Alabama player who took the life of somebody. And I went into all the details in that video. And she, once again, at the NBA draft, is bringing it up because he got drafted relatively high. She couldn't help herself because she wants to be an investigative reporter. As a matter of fact, she wanted so badly to be an investigative reporter when she was interning at the New York Times. And I think that failed. Okay. She wants to be an investigative reporter. I think she settled for doing NBA coverage. I don't think NBA coverage is her first love. But that's why she tries to utilize that investigative reporting bullshit that she does, because that is the lane that she actually wants to be in. And they thought she was going to fill the shoes of Rachel Nichols. She can't even fill the shoes of Maria Taylor. She made an embarrassment of herself. And the fact that the higher ups at ESPN have wokeified the network so badly that she thinks that she is the face of NBA coverage on that network. This is what happens when you have weak leadership. They allow heifers like this to get on here and embarrass herself. Rachel Nichols would never. Even Maria Taylor would never. They think that she's going to fill those shoes when she could barely do her job on NBA TV, the NBA TV coverage. And they put her on the draft, her and this other heifer who made a fool of herself today, she thought that she knows more about basketball than JJ Redick. I mean, it was just a total sideshow. And Malika Andrews is at the center of it. Now, we're going to take a look at this clip. All right. And then we're going to get into the article. I'm telling you right now, this heifer does not have any respect for black men or black males. This is why she's out here. She's probably never been in a relationship with a black man in her life. So she has no problem trying to dig up dirt. And during the NBA draft, bringing it up once again because she wishes she was an investigative reporter more so than an NBA sideline reporter. She would rather be doing that. That's why she could not help herself. And she went and she did this.
Miller, his name did surface in court testimony involving a case where his former teammate and another man, they've been indicted for capital murder in the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Jamia Harris.
Now, I want y'all to understand. Look at this panel. Look at the heifer in the middle. Why is she there? For diversity. See, you would never see this on an NFL draft panel because none of you heifers know anything about the NFL or football. You know, but on the NBA panel, you'll have some random heifer on the panel who knows, you could tell doesn't even know what's going on in basketball because she called JJ Redick an average shooter. Okay. A guy who made it to the NBA. This chick probably failed at her attempt to get to the WNBA. But okay, I'll just play the rest of this.
In January, the University of Alabama has described Miller as a cooperating witness. How is this factoring, if at all, into how teams are evaluating him?
Why would that matter? Why would that even matter? Why would it even matter, Malika? Why are you even bringing this up? See, this is why I go in on her, and why I go off and I go in on her, and other people do as well, is because she has no self-awareness. She wants to be an investigative reporter. She failed at being an investigative reporter. So now she, in her mind, is stuck doing sports because she probably hates sports. And she brings this up because she thinks she's informing the people. No, you're making a fool of yourself. Look at his reaction, family. That tells you everything you need to know. She has absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever. And it's insane.
I don't think it would be brought up at all if it wasn't for Malika just bringing it up on national television right now.
And vet every player, whether you have the second pick in a draft.
Yeah, why would you even bring that up? This man is there with his family. You goofy, failed investigative reporter, you. You're only there because of who you slept with, Malika. Do we talk about that? You're where you're at because of who you're dating, not because of your talent. You're a diversity hire at ESPN, and they're trying to make you into another Maria Taylor, but you're not as talented as she is on TV. And you're definitely not going to fill the shoes of Rachel Nichols. Rachel Nichols actually cared about these players. You don't give a damn about these players. Because you don't even like black men. You have no respect for black men. That's why it was easy for you to bring up that on the set. Now let's get to this other heifer. Where is she? Let's get to this one. And what she had to say to JJ Redick.
JJ, you were an average shooter in your career, right? Because it's hard to do. It's so hard, right? That's why you just...
Is that a serious question?
That's why you had a hard time, right?
Even Malika Andrews was caught off guard. When Malika Andrews is caught off guard by what you're saying, you absolutely do not know what you're talking about. If you watch JJ Redick in college, the guy could shoot. That's why he made it to the NBA. He had a lengthy NBA career, I would say, than some others, right? And for her to get on that panel, another diversity hire. All right, I've never seen her on ESPN. Even though I don't watch ESPN a ton, I watch it here and there to know who's hosting these shows. I have never seen her.
Right? But JJ, you were an average shooter in your career, right? Because it's hard to do. It's so hard, right? That's why you just...
Is that a serious question?
That's why you had a hard time, right? Right? But
you could tell JJ was a little perturbed, but I will say this about JJ, that the irony of this is that JJ Redick is very woke. Okay, he wants to be the woke white guy, as Jason Whitlock would say, right? And for him to be humiliated like that on live television tells you everything you need to know about the atmosphere at ESPN. You see, ESPN would not hire people who had this lack of awareness about, players and to be an analyst on TV, you're supposed to have a knowledge of sports, a knowledge of basketball or football or baseball. So you have a long memory of, yeah, I saw that guy play at Duke. I remember this guy was drafted in this round. I remember what teams he played on. But because she probably only knows JJ Redick for what he does on TV. That's why she said this. This diversity hires are ruining ESPN. ESPN is so woke, they're hiring the dumbest people to be on their network. I tweeted, Malika Andrews is the dumbest woman on television. She is. And this other heifer might be in the running for number 2. You could tell these people don't do any real research. They got the job because they failed at other things. This other female probably failed at being a WNBA player. Malika Andrews failed at being an investigative reporter. So now they're at ESPN. They're in their feelings. We all know you heifers are jealous of the men there because they're more accomplished than you. They got more money than you. They're more established than you. And you ain't established at anything. See, this is what it has come to with ESPN. And that is why Malika's getting cooked all over social media. And let me just say this. This ain't me bashing women or I don't think women should be in sports. This heifer made a fool of herself, and the consensus on Twitter and social media and the people at home that watched is that this woman made an absolute fool of herself. But this is the person that was supposed to be the next Rachel Nichols or Maria Taylor. And by the way, her sister just as dumb as she is. She's been called out for being a liar, but they still have their jobs because they're diversity hires. It's not who you know, who you blow. Okay? As Malika Andrews. This to me is an absolute shame. You're trying to throw stuff out there on a guy that has basically been cleared of any wrongdoing. That's why he's able to go to the NBA and he hasn't been charged with anything, Malika Andrews. And you would know that if you did your job. But because Malika Andrews has no respect for these players, like that's why these NBA players would prefer a Rachel Nichols over her. They have more respect level for her because she cares. Malika Andrews only care about herself. And the first opportunity she gets to go to a different network, she's going to do it. Look how she tried to slander the head coach of the Boston Celtics. This woman is absolutely out of her mind. Would not be surprised if this woman is on the bottle or popping some pills. My opinion, I'm not saying it's fact, my opinion, because for somebody to always do dumb things on TV and get cooked over it, she seems to act like it's nothing going on here. What's going on here to me is that you got this diversity hire who's gotten crazy. Okay? And the thing is, the stupidity was universal on this show. It was universal stupidity. Who's hiring these people? I'll tell you who's hiring these people. The woke leadership at that network that think that she's gonna be their black face even though she's biracial. All right, I'm gonna read this too. Malika Andrews' coverage of Alabama's Brandon Miller rubbed some viewers the wrong way during the NBA draft before Miller was drafted number 2 overall. So I know that must have pissed her off. He was drafted number 2, even with all your dirt slinging by the Charlotte Hornets. Andrews spoke about his connection to a fatal incident in Tuscaloosa involving his former teammate Darius Miles. In court documents, police said Miller delivered a weapon to Miles that was then used by another man to take the life of 23-year-old Jaye Harris. Miller was never charged with the crime and continued to play basketball at Alabama because he didn't do anything wrong. You had a rogue guy go and commit this crime. I don't think Brandon Miller knew what this dude was going to do. On Thursday night, Andrews asked a panel ESPN during the draft how teams are factoring the court case while evaluating him. I mean, why? He didn't do anything wrong. What did he do wrong except for having a weapon that was given to a teammate who used it on his own to commit the crime that he did? It says death taxes. Malika Andrews bring up a case during the NBA draft. Twitter really turned on Malika Andrews in record time. People realized there is an entire team of ESPN people, ESPN telling her what to say from a truck, right? She's not just talking about the weapons case because she's personally trying to tank his draft stock or whatever people think. Well, like I said, I have seen hosts on ESPN. You have players with checkered pasts. They're not going to the depths that she is. And this ain't the first time. This ain't the first time. I think people are trying to give her an out. No. This is a trend with her. People saying the truck is telling her to say that. No, she's deciding to say that. I believe she has a lot of autonomy on that show. When she brought him up on her NBA show, she brought him up, and I think y'all trying to give her a pass. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you give her a pass. This woman has no accountability for her actions because she doesn't respect these players. She doesn't like these players. That's why it's easy for her to do this. She could always say, "Yeah, I don't want to do that." But you know, again, she has autonomy. She's hosting her own show. So it's not like she's forced. No, she's doing it because she wants to. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.